It is time for Dave Day here on Community NEPA News with Dave Seaman, Standard Speaker Sports Editor. I'm Ken Karen. Dave, a big week in track and field coming up as we get ready to go toward the end of spring sports season. We'll have some league championships and then district championships coming up. Schuylkill League Track and Field will have their meet at Tamaqua this week, Tuesday and Wednesday. Great piece in the Standard Speaker by Steve Stallone, your colleague, writing about Shenandoah Valley's Emily DeMalis and Weatherly's Emily Zoshin, how they've gone head-to-head in volleyball, basketball, track and field, how they're a standout in all three sports as well. Both of them own the 100 and 200 dash records at both of their schools.
You know, they're both outstanding sprinters too, with visions of getting to the, doing well at districts and moving on to the state meet. And that would be only fitting that they go head-to-head one more time, two more times, and then meet one more time in the state championships, because their careers have intertwined, and they're a credit to the area.
What I really thought was interesting in Steve's article too is that Shenandoah Valley, they run on one of the old tracks that has the cinders on it. It's an old cinder track, and Weatherly just formed their team. They don't even have a track. They're just running in a parking lot right now, and they have these two high caliber athletes. As for Hazleton area, their track and field team, Dave, big meet for them this week on Tuesday. The boys and girls will take on Dallas with Wyoming Valley Conference Division titles on the line. Steve also did a piece on the depth of the boys 4x4 relay team. Very talented. There's three seniors there who are locked in: Michael Bradley, Warren Sengadal, and Kyle Franek. And then, like I said, the fourth, they've been kind of slotting and seeing who will run with them. Just recently in the Standard Speaker Athlete of the Week, Jillian Bookman, and she's had a heck of a year as sprinter. And interesting that I found out in that piece was she's running the 400 for the first time. That might be her best way to make state, she was saying.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, Jillian's an outstanding athlete in her own right, part of an outstanding junior class of athletes, especially on the female end at Hazleton area this year. And Jillian, you saw her coming up through the junior high ranks, that she was going to be a top-notch sprinter. She established herself at that level and then moved right on to the high school level. And just like a long athlete, just a talented athlete. She plays field hockey as well, which again showcases her skills as as an athlete. I know she's a competitor. Comes from a long line of Bookmans that are outstanding athletes, and she's just the latest, because she could really motor on the track, and she's going to be one to watch for.
There's going to be a lot of talent at the Hazleton area track on Wednesday, because Dave and I will be there recording the latest installment of the Good Sports podcast and web series coming to the SSP TV and Standard Speaker website. So Dave, that should be a lot of fun, talking with the coaches and some of the athletes. North Schuylkill, their first loss over the weekend. You were saying, Dave, hey, is it good to maybe get a loss under your belt before the playoffs, or do you want to keep rolling into the playoffs with that zero next year, Dave?
Well, there's a lot of pressure. I mean, it's a debatable point. I know I've done articles in the past with coaches who have gone through a season where they've been undefeated, and you're tested. I mean, last year with the Hazleton boys basketball team too, they lost mid-season to Reading, and they said that kind of like rejuvenated them. It kind of like brought them back down to earth a little bit, and they were able to get another streak going, and it served them well as they moved forward through the season. You get a loss this late in the season, you just don't want it to linger. You want it to you want to get over it as quickly as possible. Know that you made mistakes in that game that you lost, and you don't want to call any game a throwaway game. I know Russ Kanzler talks about that all the time. It's like there are no throwaway games in our schedule, and you have to take each game seriously. But if you do happen to lose, again, learn from your mistakes, move on, and get ready for the next one, because there's always the next one if you keep winning.
And a big week for North Schuylkill. They'll have Blue Mountain on Monday, I believe, as we're recording this, as they try to close in on the division title and get ready for the Schuylkill League playoffs. Watch our story on them on SSP TV News this week. Dave, Sam Varilla and Charlie Karchner honored by the Penn State University Athletic Conference. Sam Varilla, Penn State Hazleton softball player. Charlie Karchner on the baseball team. She was actually the player of the year, a Hazleton area high school grad. I don't have the time, Dave, to list all of the records she's broken at Penn State Hazleton, but been some great female athletes there, and she'll be missed as with the local Lions.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. I remember covering her, just following her, getting articles when she was a youth softball player in the Valley Regional Softball League, and she came up through the ranks. An outstanding player at Hazleton area high school too, and a very versatile player. That's what I always admired about her. She could pitch, she could play the field, and boy, can she hit the softball. I mean, she's one of the top softball hitters that I've seen come through the ranks.
And as for Charlie Karchner, an MMI graduate, Dave, I remember covering him at MMI. I think he was on the district championship team there.
Yes, he was.
Yeah. So won a district championship there. What would you say in
2015? He was the 2014 2014 district championship team, yes.
Thanks for having my back there, Dave. So he wins there, and then he goes off. I did a story on him and his sister, both at Penn State Hazleton. I believe she played softball, and he was playing baseball. He is in there as a first-team honoree for the Penn State University Athletic Conference. And also, he was a Thon child growing up. Was battling cancer as a child, and now he danced in Thon this year, so he got some attention for that as well. So congratulations to Charlie. Dave, any interesting stories you're working on this week?
Hazleton area softball, I believe their last home games against Valley West Tuesday. Tiana Treon coming up close to the 100 hit mark in her career. Fabulous career, only a junior. The team's all juniors too. We'll talk about more as the weeks go on here.
So you'll need the Standard Speaker and standardspeaker.com. We'll keep you up to date here too on SSP TV News and Community NEPA News.